Hello and good morning to all joining us via Zoom and our Facebook live stream. Welcome to the Center for Enlightenment's exploration of the spiritual teachings, Jewels from Jane Elizabeth. Each Sunday will be a free-flowing adventure with video teachings by Jane Elizabeth Hart, facilitated by certified Center for Enlightenment teachers. Today's lesson topic, your evolutionary journey. Greg Brett will be the facilitator for this video lesson. He is a certified teacher for the Center for Enlightenment. Greg is a longtime student of Jane Hart, has been studying with her for over 30 years. Jane is the author of Spiritual Power Tools, Support for Your Soul, master teacher and founder of the Center for Enlightenment. Today's course will be live streamed via Facebook. A recording will be sent out with the weekly reflections so you can access it anytime. For those new to this format, your chat icon is located at the bottom of your screen. Just click to view. If you have any technical questions, please reach out to the host or co-host via the chat room. In addition to the Sunday courses, there will be a question and answer discussion on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. A link for these sessions will also be posted in the chat room. If you are in need of prayer support, please contact us at cfenlightenment.org or just type centerforenlightenment.com. We are active on Facebook and Twitter. Come check us out, share your thoughts and experiences. It would also be a great support to like the postings that resonate with you. We also invite you to visit our website at cfenlightenment.org. There you will find additional self-study lessons, talks, videos, or you can search for specific topics to support your expansion in consciousness. So as we all get settled, let's just take a deep breath as we begin today's journey with the prescription for spiritual alignment.
Good morning and welcome. And let's take this prescription for spiritual alignment into our hearts together. We are aligned with the presence of God within. We are protected by God's love, wisdom, knowledge, and grace. The God consciousness within helps us discover more about who we are. Thank you, God, for the gift of spiritual intuition. Thank you, God, for aligning our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. And the now moment is all we have. And in this now moment, we give thanks. Amen. Well, there's a new year coming. And at the beginning of this video, Jane talks about how she's recording it sometime in early January. But she's talking about something that's very important to us right now. And it's that energy that comes in at the end of the year and moves us into a new year. And so this new year energy is what she's talking about, and what we're doing in preparation for taking the year that has passed us up the 7 steps is to let go of all those patterns, all those things that have been an experience of this past year, so that we can embrace this new year energy that's coming in. And so this is a perfect video for us to watch right now in preparation for the work we're going to do towards the end of the year in the 7 steps. There's new energy coming in. And if you just get quiet here, you can feel it. You can sense this New Year's energy coming into your beingness. And you're observing yourself as this new energy is landing. And it happens really in 3 stages at the end of the year. There's Thanksgiving, where we gather that energy in gratitude and open our hearts to that new energy. And then Christmas, which is the birth of that new consciousness that's coming into being, that birth of that Christ consciousness. And then New Year's itself, which is the fulfillment and the moving forward with that new energy. And so what we're doing right now is recognizing that our observer self is experiencing this new energy. And this higher vibration is boosting our ability to perceive new insights, new awarenesses, to be open to new experiences. I mean, this new year that's coming just in a few weeks, and it's less time than you think. This new year is bringing in some new experiences for you, experiences that you can't even imagine right now. And as you process this new information, it will be able to move more deeply into your consciousness. So, any old patterns that are holding you back from experiencing the New Year's energy, they're coming up right now. And I'm experiencing that right now in my life. You may be as well, noticing that there's some old ways of looking at things, old attachments, old patterns of thinking, old, stale, toxic, rancid emotions. They're coming up to be released. And as you release them, you're opening up the space for a greater and greater possibility in your life. And that New Year's possibility is bringing up whatever is in the way of your spiritual growth. As we've said before, love brings up whatever's in its way, and your desire to bring in that New Year's energy will bring up whatever is in the way of that experience. You have evolved this year spiritually, and you've made great strides, not just this year, but throughout your lifetime in moving your soul forward. The evolution of your consciousness is pulling you out of the old patterns of thinking, the old patterns of looking at things, into a new awareness. Now, those old patterns are familiar to you, but they no longer serve you in your best and highest way. And as you begin to observe them, you begin to take charge of the great opportunity that's there in front of you. And that opportunity is for greater spiritual growth. You are ready to move into a higher consciousness. You are ready to move into a higher consciousness for your own self. But not only that, you are, in a sense, in the vanguard of the transformation of the consciousness of humanity. The whole world is getting ready for a movement, a mass movement in consciousness. What we're seeing all around us is the global dissatisfaction with the status quo, with the old ways of doing things. And this is manifesting in some rather strange and awkward ways, we have to admit it. But it's part of the process of growth that is being directed inwardly by that spiritual awareness that we all hold in common that connects us all. Why are we seeing all these conflicts right now? Why are all these disruptions happening? Because of the breakdown of the old toxic forms and structures that are karmically based. As Jane says in this video, everything is karma. Everything you've ever experienced is karma. And also for humanity, everything is also karmically determined. Everything that happens is always under that great law, the great law of karma. It's the third dimensional law of the opposites. And it works in a very systematic and regular way to balance, to unfold, to evolve, and to grow. This is called the evolutionary process. And it occurs in the opposites. We move from good to bad, from war to peace, from love to hate. It's as old as time. You can see, oh gosh, I guess 2,500 years ago, the book of Ecclesiastes in the Hebrew Bible says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose and under heaven. And then it lists all of these opposites that we move between. And it doesn't say that you're supposed to like war or hate or any of the negatives. It just says that they're there. They're part of the karmic experience. And when you recognize this, that everything's under karma and that everything exists in the opposites, you begin to look at your own life and the life of evolving humanity in a new and different way. And what you do is you decide, I'm not going to let these old patterns run my life anymore. I'm not going to let myself be limited by my limited thinking. You are unlimited in your higher self. Know that you're in the middle of a transformation of everything that you thought you knew. And that surrender that says, I no longer can operate from this old way anymore. I no longer am able to use my old strategies to get what it is I want. What happens is that you open up to a new thinking process. You open up to a new intuitive awareness. First, we let go of our old judgments. The judgments are those habitual patterns of thinking that lock us down. And these processes and judgments are rooted in past life patterns that have been running our show for this entire lifetime and all our lifetimes. These past life patterns cause us to go into automatic judgments based in the past, based in the past of this life, but also beyond in past life experiences. And even if you cannot consciously remember your many evolutionary processes of past lives, you can know with a certainty that, in a sense, they're running the show right now. And as you move out of the limitations of these past life patterns, you find that this is your process of growth and change that brings you into greater and greater conscious awareness. You are no longer limited by these old ways of looking at things. You are no longer limited by this old way of thinking. And all of this is opening you up to and opening up in your heart that intuitive awareness of your heart, opening you up into your fourth dimensional intuitive nature, moving out of your third dimensional intellect, which is in your head, and moving into your fourth dimensional intuitive awareness, which is your heart awareness. Moving out of your ego mind, which is your intellect, into your intuitive mind, which is your intuition. So, this new energy that's coming in at the end of the year and into the new year is moving you more and more into your greater and greater intuitive self. Well, what happens then is that instead of just slogging unconsciously through those experiences karmically in life, using your intellect, using your third dimensional mind, you develop the capacity to know in your heart, to know, as Jane says, from the tip of your toes to the top of your head with your intuitive self. What this does is that it enables you to move faster, to move farther, and to move more fully into your whole self, to get to know your whole self. And all of this is preparing you to take your next spiritual step. So, this New Year's energy that is coming in now to allow us to let go of these old patterns, to prepare us and to open up a space for that new energy, allows you to move into greater self realization. And Jane says on this that the greater self realization, she says in the video, moves you out of the need to move through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And she teaches some pretty deep teachings here. She says that ultimately our goal is to move out of the need to incarnate again. And she says this is moving you into your higher educational process in the infinite. What is that? Your higher educational process, she says, in the infinite. Well, that's that fourth dimensional intuitive awareness that does not need to rationalize or reason or move through the third dimensional headspace mind, that intellect that limits you. You are working right now to let that go. But for now, whatever karmic piece is there in your life, whatever the drama is, whatever the challenge may be, this whole process is designed to help you find out who you really are. So take a moment and take stock of what you're dealing with today. What is up for you right now? And realize that you're taking down the veils by going through whatever you're going through right now. You're taking down the veils that seem to be covering up the truth of your being, one by one. And you're beginning to find out who you really are. Jane has said many times that the whole goal of spiritual evolution is to get to know your whole self, to get to know your whole self in God. And you've had so many opportunities in this lifetime to let go of limitations, to release old karmic patterns, to balance your karma. And you've succeeded in many situations, and you've made mistakes in other situations, but that's a given. That's just part of the process. The truth is that you've grown through it all. Every step, every stage of your evolution has grown you and moved you forward. But now, as this new year's energy is beginning to come in and is dislodging the stale and toxic old feelings and thinking, these patterns, what you find is that this energy comes in slowly as the new year approaches and opens you up to new spiritual growth, new revelations, new spiritual opportunities. And you tap into what Jane in this video calls infinite intelligence. And infinite intelligence is your higher mind connected with the whole universe, with the whole mind of God. New ideas and new understandings are coming through for you. You are no longer limited in your old ways of thinking. You are ready to benefit from the accelerated process, the speeding up of the energy that is provided by this new year consciousness that's coming in. And it starts coming in slowly. So right now you may not be discerning it. But if you have your awareness up, if you quiet your mind, if you open your eyes and open your heart, you'll begin to notice more and more of this energy, dislodging old patterns and giving you revelations. In the video, Jane says that this is symbolized by the internet, where there's an interconnectedness that happens all at once, as above, so below. And so if we're looking for an analogy to give us a good depiction, a picture of what's going on energetically for us, we can see this vibration and energy and understanding of that internet as a symbol for what's going on in our own consciousness. And she also says that new souls are coming into incarnation to help bring humanity and to provide us with a new capacity for greater understanding. And this new energy that's coming in connects you with that all-knowing mind, symbolized by that all-encompassing internet, that brings in that new awareness that allows you to get to know not only your whole self, but your whole self connected with the whole universe. So this is about expanding your consciousness, not just being the 1/10 conscious, in the iceberg that she talks about, that's only 1/10 above the surface. That 1/10 consciousness is where you think you live. That 1/10 consciousness is where your ego identifies and thinks, oh, that's who I am. Maybe you're one of those people who has moved beyond the idea that you're just a body, and you begin to identify with yourself as a mind, as an intellect, moving into this lifetime and experiencing things. But now you're moving beyond that 1/10 conscious mind and opening up to a greater and greater understanding of who you are, to a new energy and a new vibration that is gaining momentum and power. Now, you've spent this last year experiencing many different things. And a couple of weeks from now, we're going to be working on the 7 steps for releasing the past year. And this is a powerful process that will allow you to let go of all the opposites of the past year, because you've had some disappointments and difficulties. You've had some unfulfilled hopes and dreams, but you've also had some wonderful good times and fulfillments of desires. And both of these opposites have to be released. And it's a real challenge for many of us on the spiritual path to acknowledge the fact that we have to let go of both the positive as well as the negative. Now, I don't know about you, but I was always willing to release the negative. I didn't want it anymore. I was willing to uh, meditate and ceremonially release the old year that I've just experienced. But when I realized that I also had to let go of the positive in order to open up the door to new and greater good, that really freed me to let go of both sides of the opposites. And the 7-step method, which we're going to be going through at the end of the year, is that method that we use to let go of both the positives and the negatives, both what we call the good and the bad. This process that you're going through here at the end of the year is giving you an opportunity to get to know your whole self, to get to know yourself better. As a soul in evolution, you've moved through many stages, many different steps, and we've evolved. You and I have evolved through the stages of the stone and the plant and the animal and the human being. But there's as much of a leap in consciousness between the human consciousness that you and I are in right now and our next spiritual consciousness as there was between a squirrel and a human being. You're in a human form now, but this has just been another vehicle, just one more vehicle in the expansion of your consciousness. And just as that limited squirrel or that dog or that cat that you see every day as you either have a pet or you take a walk and you see these animals, these animal forms and animal lives, they have a certain level of consciousness that would not be able to fathom or understand any of the things that you could try to explain to them. Similarly, that spiritual consciousness that is emerging within us is beyond our conscious awareness, dwells in the now moment, and can only be experienced when we let go of all attachment, all patterns of thinking, all old toxic programming, and move into a clear space of now moment awareness. In this lifetime, you have chosen to bring yourself to the threshold of this awareness. And this week, in this week to come, you're going to take this understanding of this New Year's energy that's just now starting to come in and connect with its vibration in your times of meditation. And it's so important as this year comes to a close that you meditate every day. But part of the process of meditation is do not judge your meditations. Do not say, oh, this is a good meditation. This is a bad meditation. My mind was busy, so I must have failed in my meditation. Because the truth is that you're letting go of those thoughts. You're letting go of those patterns. And your meditation is serving exactly what it needs to serve. And so, just as you have to let go of judgment in other areas of your life, so too you let go of the judgment of yourself in meditation. The important thing is that you are trying each day with consistency to still your mind and to open yourself up. And that opens up a greater and greater capacity for this new energy that's coming in. Another part of this is called using your observer self. And every week we talk about this observer self. It's taking that awareness that we formally experience in meditation when we sit down and open ourselves and quiet our minds as best we can. But we move forth into our everyday lives while we're driving or working or interacting with people. And we always have that part of ourselves watching, observing, being aware. It's almost like a 24/7 meditation as we begin to connect with our observer self. When you wake up in the morning, take your observer self in hand and say, I am ready to activate my active observer and be led through this day. However, you want to do it, God, I am open and receptive to my intuitive guidance, and I am open and receptive to my observer self. Whatever way you need to do this, but take that observer self with you in your spiritual backpack and always have it there throughout your day. And what is that observer self? It is your higher self observing your lower self. That's another way of looking at this. Your higher self, that soul, that infinite consciousness, is able to observe so that you can move through that lower consciousness of your ego, your lower self, and not get stuck in it, not have the Velcro of your ego stick to events and situations and attachments in life, but letting go of that Velcro and it becomes Teflon, and you're able to move more smoothly through the different dramas, the different disappointments, the different fulfillments and fulfilled desires, both positive and negative. Your higher self is your observer self, observing your lower self. And your soul is pushing you to get you free from your third dimensional, limited lower self. And it's a tremendous leap in consciousness. As I said, it's as significant of a leap in consciousness as moving from the animal to the human. But now you're moving into your spiritual awareness. This movement in consciousness is the fulfillment of all those lifetimes, all those experiences that you've had over centuries and millennia and eons of time. And they have led you through all of these incarnations and forms to this point where you are ready to awaken to your next step. Jane says something at the end of this video, which is a real blessing, I think, a real gift. And she says, I congratulate you for your desire to move forward. That desire to move forward is that energy that activates this spiritual awakening. Remember that there are 3 steps to that spiritual awakening: desire, commitment, and will. Desire, commitment, and will. And the desire of your heart to awaken, to spiritually come into your awareness, is something that begins this process. But then you have to commit to it. And it's not just a flash in the pan. It's not just something that happens momentarily one time. But as you make your commitment to it, then you back up that commitment with your will, which shows up as your practices day by day, and your willingness to meditate each day, to be in your observer self each day, to pull out your journal and to see what messages are there, to allow yourself to move forward. So it's desire, commitment, and will that is awakening you to your next step. So continue observing this week, continuing your times of meditation to observe inwardly, letting go of the thoughts, watching what's going on within your consciousness, but then take that awareness into your everyday life in your observer self. And in so doing, you will grab those higher energies and you will receive the new opportunity of this energy of the new year that's even now coming in, maybe slowly, but it's coming in stronger and stronger as the days of this week go forward. You will feel this energy more and more powerfully as you move ahead in your awareness this week. So let's get ready for this end of the year process by listening to the video together, watching the video together, and moving with Jane as she shows us how to welcome our new year. Let's watch it together.
Hi, this is the beginning of our new year, and I know that each and every one of you is beginning to experience the new vibrations and energies that are coming in. And those energy patterns that are coming in are a boost. And let me explain a little bit about how the process works. I know in the past I've talked about it, being the observer of self, which is a very important part of being able to take in this new energy and work with it, because we are observing ourselves in the new energy. So if you haven't already done that, start to recognize that the observer self of you is the one that will recognize the new energy coming in, because what is happening is it's a higher vibration which will boost your ability to perceive information and process it and move more deeply into your subconscious and bring out some of those patterns within you that are holding you back from moving forward in your life, in your spiritual growth, because everything that happens in this world is happening to support your spiritual evolution of consciousness. We've been talking about consciousness for a long time now. And the evolution of our consciousness is what's so very important, and getting out of old patterns that will stop us from growing and changing, because those old patterns are those things that are familiar with us, but they're not working for us. We know they're there, we have observed them, but now that we are in this new energy, we're all going to be taking advantage of the opportunity that's given to us, because the world is ready to move into a higher consciousness. It is beginning to be dissatisfied with what's going on in the world. They're beginning to ask questions. Why is this the way it is? Why are we having all these shootings? Why are we having all these problems in the government? Why are we having all these problems? Why is nothing being taken care of according to the way we look at it and the way we want it to go? Well, everything is karma. Everything that's happening in this universe is karmic. It's under the law of karmic, the law of evolutionary process. Everything is in the opposites. This is why we experience wonderful things, and of course we experience not so wonderful things. All in the same day, all in the same hour, doesn't matter. But you've all heard that from me for a very long time. So this is not new news to you. But I want to grab your consciousness up right now. I want to pull it into looking at your life in a new way. Not to go back to old patterns that were here last year, or old thinking processes, or judgment. You see, our judgment is off. That's really the truth. Because we look through the eyes of all the past lives we've ever lived, and all the judgments we've made in those past lives, that's ruling our life right now. And when it rules our life, it's an automatic knee-jerk, so to speak. We automatically go into the process of judging it according to what? Things that have happened in this lifetime. But those things that happened in this lifetime started maybe 3,000 years ago. And when I began to see myself through the many evolutionary processes that I've had and looked at and released, and all the things that I'm talking to you all about, because It is a process of growth and change. It is a process that brings us into higher and more information, more intelligence, more intuitive development of our nature. Our nature is intuitive. That's part of who we are. And it's one of those things that we very seldom focus on because we've depended on our brain. And now this new energy is stirring stuff up and is starting to help you to move faster and quicker. Something that may have taken you 2 or 3 weeks to figure out and work with is now going to take you an hour or maybe a day, which means that you're going to be able to process more information to move further in your evolutionary process this lifetime. Because whatever we're doing this lifetime, we are preparing for our next lifetime, unless we're mastering this lifetime. And if that's the case, we are on the road to probably never coming back to this planet, or we move into the higher educational process in the infinite. So as I sit here today, I look at you and I know that you are in a karmic piece that has come from the past. And you're working through whatever you need to work through to find out more about who you are. This whole process of evolution is to find out who you really are. It's taking down the veil of misconception and moving into the truth of your being. And now all those that are looking at this video have been in body for many, many times, in and out of body many, many, many times, and have learned a lot, have made mistakes, and have grown through the experiences of those mistakes. So now that this new year is here, and we're beginning to just open the door a little bit of this new year, and the energy is coming in slowly but surely, and we are able to bring ourselves into the possibility of opening up a new avenue of spiritual growth, spiritual recognition, spiritual revelations. Go into infinite intelligence. So I'll be working a lot this year on bringing new concepts to you, bringing new ideas to you so that you can benefit from this new energy. It's like what's happening in the internet now. Things are being processed so much faster. The news all over the world is here, boom, boom. See, this is what's happening to us as evolutionary beings in a human form. We're able to process information much more clearly. When I was born, we didn't know anything about televisions. We had the radio. We used to sit around the radio and listen to the radio and use our imagination. But now, just think of what your children are getting and what your children will be getting. Everything is moving very quickly. And that's vibration and energy and understanding. More intelligent beings are coming in to work with the third dimensional world to bring the computers up to a greater capacity. Well, we're here to grow in greater capacity too. Because in essence, we are like the computer. We process information. We bring it to our conscious mind and observe it and work with it. We have access to everything that we need at any time we need it if we will observe what's being shown to us, because that is the road to new awareness. We are intelligent beings. We have the capacity to understand our whole self, to work in the best interest of our soul. The best interest of your soul is to expand your consciousness so you can understand your whole soul, not just the 1/10 soul part of you that you are experiencing right now. You want to open that consciousness up to grab hold of this new vibration and move quickly and swiftly with it. It's here for you now. It's here. It's been coming and coming all last year. And now it is here. And now it is our opportunity to grab hold of that vibration and energy and use it to grow spiritually, to understand ourselves better, to be in a better place in our conscious awareness. Because we are souls in evolution. And we have, for eons of time, have evolved through the gas stage, the gases and all the different stages of our beingness. We have evolved through all of that, and now we are in human form. But this is just another form. This is just another form. It is what we can walk around in. It's our vehicle, if you will. But this vehicle, like every other vehicle, eventually we leave this vehicle and we get a new vehicle. And I'm talking about a body. And then we come down again to experience the third dimensional world again, to get more understanding of what it's all about. So I want to leave you with these thoughts. Work on your meditations. Give yourself some time to connect with that vibration. Even if your mind rushes and dances all over the place in your head, know that because you're sitting there, because you're trying your best to still your mind and allow more of those vibrations and energy to come in, you are doing something that's going to benefit you. The observer self is your best friend. Your best friend. Because that's your higher self observing your lower self. It's your evolutionary soul that is coming forth and observing. It's all kind of bunched together. That's the best I can describe it. It's just bunched together, and it's here for you to observe the higher aspect of yourself. Your soul is pushing you to free you from this third dimensional process of evolution. Just like when you were the squirrel and you ran around and collected nuts. And then you moved into a higher form, and then a higher form, and another higher form. And then you became more intelligent, and more intelligent, and then you became more conscious, and more conscious, and more conscious, and then boom, you're a human. You had a human body, and the process begins again. And then, boom, you will finally leave these many incarnations that you've had as a human being, playing on this cosmic playground, and you wake up to the next evolution of your whole beingness. So I congratulate you that you have the desire to move forward. So this week, continue doing your observing, knowing that there's a rapid speed here, and your computer self, so to speak, can grab those higher energies and bring and Google, if you will, new information. So look forward to our time together this year. This is an important time for all of us, and that very important time for the evolution of the soul. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you. Well, I guess I won't see you, but I sure will be talking to you next week. Bye-bye.
There was a powerful energy that came in with that we're going to move with in a moment of meditation as we recognize that the end of the year energy, the New Year's energy is coming in, that is bringing in new possibilities for our spiritual growth. But in this process, those old patterns that have been holding us back are surfacing during this time so that we can make our next great leap in consciousness in the new year. So just take a moment and close your eyes and move with the vibration, move with the awareness that came in with that lesson that we just experienced together. And feel yourself on the crest of the wave of this energy. Become aware that there is a new energy emerging, bubbling up, and pushing us forward. Open your heart, open your consciousness, your awareness, and just say, thank you. Thank you for the revelations. Thank you. I am open and receptive to this new energy, this new light. Let's experience this energy in this silence for a moment. And we just give thanks for the revelation that is emerging in our consciousness that as we go forth into our day is just going to come up and awaken us to new insights, new possibilities. Thank you. Thank you for this energy, this vibration that is coming in, and for our willingness to commit to the desire of our heart, desire to awaken. So it is. Amen. Bring yourself now back to the presence of where you are. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and you're going to experience a week of awakening in your observer self. And I know you're going to meditate every day. And I know you're going to wake up in the morning and activate that observer self and take it with you into the day. And I hope you will take your experiences of the week into our Thursday night question and answer support group. You see the link in the chat room, and you can also go online to the Center for Enlightenment website and connect with the 7 p.m. Eastern Time question and answer support group, where you can share these insights and awarenesses and experience the journeys of other people and support each other as well. And also, we want to invite you to support the Center for Enlightenment. There's a link for your donation, your offering, and we can continue to do this work together. That's in the chat room, and it's also found at the website. And so as this week goes on, we're going to experience more and more the increasing energy at the end of the year of this new energy, the New Year's energy that begins to come in at this time. We go into the stores and we say, gee, there's all this holiday stuff and it seems to be so far in advance, but there's an energy that needs some time to land. And so as we see this evidence of it in our outer world, we're also embracing this new energy as it comes in on an inner level. And so until next week or until Thursday, bye for now.